A teacher earning $65,000 a year pays a higher tax rate than a billionaire earning $65 million. And it's not a glitch. It was designed that way. Every year, millions of Americans file their taxes and feel the sting. The paycheck gets smaller, the deductions feel unfair, and there's this nagging feeling that something's wrong. Because while middle-class families are losing a quarter of their income before they even see it, the ultra-wealthy are paying less, sometimes a lot less. And the craziest part? It's all perfectly legal. Let's rewind to 1913. That's when the federal income tax officially became permanent in the United States. At first, it only applied to the richest Americans. The top tax rate, 7%. And it only kicked in after you earned the equivalent of about $11 million in today's dollars. The average worker paid nothing. Fast forward to today, the middle class now shoulders the bulk of income tax revenue. Meanwhile, billionaires have access to an entirely different playbook. Take Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He famously admitted that he pays a lower tax rate than his secretary, not because he's cheating, but because the system is built that way. Here's what they don't teach you in high school economics. There are two types of income in America, and the tax code treats them very differently. The first is ordinary income. That's your salary, your hourly wage, the money that shows up on your W-2 form. This is how teachers, nurses, electricians, and most working Americans get paid. And this income, it gets taxed hard. Federal income tax, state tax, Social Security, Medicare, you can lose 25 to 35% before it hits your bank account. Now here's the second type, capital gains. That's income from investments, stocks, real estate, business ownership. And the tax rate on long-term capital gains, just 20% at the top end, often much lower. So if you work for your money, you pay more. If your money works for you, you pay less. But it gets worse. The ultra-wealthy don't just pay lower rates, they have access to strategies that make their taxable income almost disappear. Let's talk about one. It's called buy, borrow, die. Here's how it works. Step 1. Buy assets, stocks, companies, real estate, things that grow in value. Step 2. Don't sell them, because if you don't sell, you don't trigger capital gains tax. Your wealth grows, but on paper, you have no income. Step 3. Borrow against those assets. Banks will lend you millions at low interest rates using your stocks as collateral. That borrowed money, not taxable. You can live off it, buy houses, yachts, whatever. Step 4. Die. When you pass away, your heirs inherit those assets at their current value. All the gains, erased for tax purposes. It's called the step-up in basis. Your kids sell the assets, pay little to no tax, and the cycle continues. The middle class doesn't have this option. You can't borrow millions against assets you don't own. You need your paycheck to survive, and that paycheck gets taxed the moment you earn it. Meanwhile, ProPublica's investigation found that between 2014 and 2018, the 25 richest Americans paid just 3.4% in true tax rate when you measure their wealth growth. 3.4%, while a middle-class family pays 20 to 30% on income they actually need to live. Let's make this real. Meet Sarah. She's a registered nurse in Ohio. She makes $72,000 a year. She works overtime, night shifts, holidays. Her effective tax rate? Around 24% federal, plus another 7% for payroll taxes, plus state taxes. She takes home about $50,000 after everything. Now meet Michael. He's a venture capitalist. Last year, his investments earned him $10 million. He didn't work nights, he didn't miss his kids' soccer games. His tax rate on those gains? About 20%, and with deductions for investment expenses, charitable contributions, and depreciation on real estate, his effective rate drops even lower. Sarah saves what she can, maybe $5,000 a year if she's lucky. Michael, wealth compounds by millions annually, and the tax code rewards him for it. Sarah feels stuck, because she is. The system isn't broken for her, it's working exactly as designed. So why was it designed this way? The answer is lobbying, influence, and decades of policy shaped by those who benefit most. In the 1950s, the top marginal tax rate was over 90%. Corporations paid nearly a third of all federal tax revenue. Today, the top rate is 37%, and corporate taxes make up less than 10% of federal revenue. What happened? Tax cuts branded as economic growth. Trickle-down theory. The idea that if we let the rich keep more, everyone benefits. Except it didn't trickle down. Wealth concentrated at the top, the middle class stagnated, and the tax burden shifted downward. Between 1980 and 2020, the wealthiest 1% saw their share of national income nearly double. The middle class saw theirs shrink. And here's the kicker. The people writing the tax laws, many of them benefit from these exact loopholes. According to the Center for Responsive Politics, the finance and investment industry spent over $600 million in just the last election cycle. That's not democracy, that's a system protecting itself. So here's the truth they don't want you to realize. You're not bad with money. You're not failing to get ahead because you're not working hard enough. You're playing a game where the rules were written by people who don't want you to win. The teacher paying more than the billionaire isn't an accident, it's a feature. And until more people understand how the system actually works, nothing changes. The question is, now that you know, what are you going to do about it? If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see it. And subscribe, because we're breaking down the systems they don't teach you in school.